Hi guys, welcome back to another Horus Heresy unboxing video. So today I have the Leviathan Dreadnought with ranged weapons. I originally thought I picked up one of these and one of the close combat ones because I wanted two of them like that, but I accidentally picked up two with the ranged weapons. So I'm going to have a lot of heavy support with ranged weapons in the Blood Angels Force, but I'm going to get this open. As you can see, the cellophane is still on it. It cost me $62.50, and we're going to go and have a look at the kit. So I bought the Forge World resin Blood Angels one, and when I bought it, I bought the Gravflux Bombard and the Heavy Siege Claw, or Leviathan Dreadnought Siege Claw, and now I have access to all these other weapons. I have the Cyclonic Melta Lance, which I think looks unreal. Gravflux Bombard, still my favourite weapon that the Leviathan has, and the heavy autocannon array. I think that's all he has. Yeah, cool. So I'm going to get the cellophane off this and we'll have a look. Okay guys, so I've just opened the box. So you can see here you've got the yellow boys from the Sons of, no, I was going to say Sons of Sanguinius. He's the Imperial Fists, and then we have the Sons of Horus that's right here. Anyway, so if I'm not mistaken, is that 60? I think that's a standard 60mm Dreadnought base. I actually have the contender here. Okay, so no, that's probably a 70, maybe an 80mm base. So that's the contender painted up for the Ward Bearers. Fits easily onto the base, so he's a chunky boy. Okay, so standard. If you play Sons of Horus or Imperial Fist, you're going to have an outrageous amount of transfers based on the last couple of these Horus Heresy kits coming out. You get your instructions, so it's interchangeable as to how you want to do the weapons. You can put them on either side, which is good. You have the, I think it's a phosphorus blaster or a phosphorus lancer for the top, and carapace trim. So to make up the foot there's 3 pieces, and to make up the lower leg, so basically his shin, there's 5 pieces. So there's a lot of parts in this guy. Okay. It looks like we are adding the 2 carapace pieces, or the chest armour, so we have a bottom part and a top part that clips in. I was wondering if they're going to make that as one whole section. You have a choice of front grills, and I think you have a choice of something else. There's the choice of head cowls here for the helmet. There's definitely another part I think I see. Yeah, the groin guard. So you have a choice of groin guard as well. Right, so they're not important at the minute. Kit, let's go. So I'd say this is part of the, without turning it around, this is part of the Cyclonic Melta Lance. This is clearly the autocannon array, and then there's loads of gribbly bits around. They're probably to do with the Gravflux Bombard. So flick it around. That is a tasty looking piece of kit. It actually has bullets inside the ammo reel, if you want to call it that. So you can see that the singular bullets are in there, so there's 2 halves of that, they stick together. Okay, Cyclonic Melta Lance barrels, or half barrels, and judging by the half globe nodules on this, I'd say they're parts of the Gravflux Bombard. There's the cannon for it. I think this is actually better quality. Well, obviously it's going to be better quality than the Forge World one because it's in plastic. I think my Forge World Cyclonic or Gravflux Bombard is like a slipped resin cast on it, which is a bit of a pain. Yeah, so that's the Cyclonic Melta Lance. You have, I know from building my own Leviathan, these are it's like the shoulder joints basically that the gun slides onto. So if you're magnetising it, you could just drill them out, slide a magnet in on each side, and then you'd have, I think it's this bit here. Yeah, so that already has a magnet hole. If you really wanted it, you could probably only do it on one, save yourself the hassle. Put a magnet in there, magnet in here, and it'll slide on and off. And then obviously you can put the corresponding magnet in this end here to slide on, which is cool. Okay, so that's it looks like there's the 3 weapons around that, so obviously you can only give them 2. this looks like the feet and legs. So we've 3 different foot plates. One of them here looks like it's kind of stepping, and you can't really see it there. So it's kind of like his foot's doing this as if he's getting ready to walk, and then you have 2 flat ones. These will build up your shin pads, hip joints, which it looks like you're going to have a lot of posability in this now. If I'm not mistaken, this is where the hips will click into the bottom of the torso, back of the groin area. Now there's different type of feet there. Okay, so we've the 2 flat feet, and then if you want to do the one where he's kind of stepping, you have that option. There's the flat groin guard as well, and all of these little gribbly bits here make up the leg assembly. That's obviously his tie, so the 2 of them will stick together. And then these should clip into this, which clips into this to make the leg assembly. So that's pretty cool. Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, they should be the 2 knee pads as well. We've got some torso parts here. Okay, so Dreadnought power pack. So that's the exhaust chambers. We have the armour for the exhaust, carapace armour, just some pipes. That's the big piece of carapace armour. I think that's the top piece. Yeah, so this bit here clips onto the top. So obviously these are your sides here, so you can see it's got like a ball joint again, so we should have some posability. Here's another one of the front pieces, or sorry, the 4th of the front pieces that we'll be looking at, with a grill on it. This bit here is the top of the Dreadnought, where the head will go, and that there is one of the kind of head hood pieces, which is cool. And then these boys here are, no, okay, I thought that was the trim, the additional trims you can add on, but that's not them, because that's definitely not what they look like. Okay, so there's 4 sprues in total: legs, torso, weapons, and what looks like accessories. So you have the front piece that has a vertical grill and scripture. We have a horizontal grill and kind of like the lightning symbol coming off a skull. This is number 2 of the groin pieces. If you're a horrible traitor, you will like this one here, the engraved Eye of Horus. We've got the components to make up the underslung full kites. I don't actually have a reason for putting full kite in everything that I've got. I just think it looks unreal, so I keep adding them in. This here must be the trim pieces then that we are looking at. They slide on to the sides of it here, give it the chunky venerable Dreadnought look. That's the Phosphex launcher, or part of it. He's got the standard Leviathan Dreadnought head, shoulder guards, some kind of inner torso array I imagine. You've got heavy flamers or volkites for his underslung weapons, his nipple guns, shoulder guards, and this here is the other kind of hood for his head. And that is pretty much it for the 4 sprues. So as usual, I'm going to cut this here, make the model, and come back to you. Okay guys, so here is the first full ranged Leviathan Dreadnought for the Blood Angels. So I played around a bit with the posability, and it actually looks like this one here has fallen off. So you can see there the way, so the plan with it was, right, he's taken a step, so I used the kind of foot raise thing. You can see it's not a flat foot as if he's walking. Okay, I gave him a flat foot here and he's kind of rotated. He's swinging the autocannon array around to take a shot, so the way he's looking lines up with the autocannon. And the way I'm going to paint this is, and I'll add like cotton wool up here to make it look like he's just fired this a couple of times. The barrels are going to be red hot and he's holding it up to let it like cool off or reload, but it looks like the glue didn't fully set on that before I came to do the video. A couple of issues I had with the build. My GW plastic glue doesn't have the nozzle on it anymore, so it's a little bit messy. This section here I had some issues getting to line up properly. Okay, so you can kind of see I tried to fill it in a bit there with plastic glue just to try and get it to melt together. I'm going to have to go back in afterwards and fill that up with green stuff. Even getting the torso, or the, well, it's off now. The upper torso carapace bit on was a bit of a pain as well, just trying to get it all to stick together. The legs weren't too bad. It was a bit fiddly to try and figure out because, hold on, I get something to point to it. Hobby knife. This little section here is actually something that we put in, and it's got like an array that clips in here, so you had to do that on both of them. It was very hard to figure that out for a few minutes. Power pack wasn't too bad to build. This section here, nice and easy to clip on. The general torso at the bottom was fine. It was the kind of inner torso here, before the subframe before you add the carapace on top, is where I had a few issues lining things up. This wasn't too bad. You have to glue on half of the barrel, bit of a pain, but it's not the worst. The unrustling weapons clipped in quick enough, nice and easy. I had an issue getting this bit on at the top as well, and look, that could have just been me being a bit of a fool when I was building it, but the mistake I did make was I glued the torso carapace armour on and the shoulder pads, and I couldn't fit the trim on. So if I had have added the trim, I wouldn't have been able to go for the pose that I was going for. I also tried to use a standard Space Marine head. It was actually the Mark II, I think it is, iron helmet, or Mark III from the vehicle upgrade sprue. I tried to use that off the Sakaran that I've also bought and put it in here, and it was way too small, so I just didn't bother. It just looked ridiculous. So the main issues I had was building the shin areas of the Dreadnought, the subframe for the torso, getting it all to line up, and the carapace, and my shoulder trim wouldn't fit on. So like, he's a Blood Angel, I wanted him to fit on, you know, make him look nice and venerable and experienced and veteran, but it is what it is. Still, it's a big chunky boy. His gun is now fixed, and this is him beside the Contemptor. He's a pretty big boy. I'm looking forward to building the second one now, and I'll have 3 of them for me Blood Angels. Not that I'll probably ever be able to run 3, but that doesn't matter. Just a little bit of tidying up to do, a bit of gap filling, and repair the gun, and then he's good to go for painting. Obviously I went with the Volkite. That's it for my unboxing and review of the ranged Leviathan Dreadnought. I presume the close combat one will be the same. The only thing that's going to be different is the weapons. It'd be ideal if GW could sell the weapons separately as upgrade sprues in plastic rather than resin, because they're expensive, I'll tell you that much. I didn't bother going with magnetising because I wanted to get this video done. But that's it for this one, guys. Stay tuned, for I have a Sakaran coming up and a couple of other bits and bobs. So we'll see you for the next one. Let me know what you think of this model, see if you've built one, had similar issues, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.